Hi guys, and welcome to sunny Folkestone, and it is a really lovely sunny day. The wind's got up and that worries me about the audio on the camera. I hope it is not too disruptive during the course of this little plein air adventure with you guys, but it is a lovely day. And as I say, it wasn't windy when I left home, but hey, that's normal for me. When I turn up somewhere, things change a little bit. But what a stunning place Folkestone really is when it comes to the harbour and the scene, the modern scene behind me with the old harbour arm and the harbour itself and all the harbour side properties and buildings. So there is so much to look at and do, and that brings me to what we're going to be doing today. Well, I'm out to sketch. I'm out to have a look around and do some sketching with you guys, but apart from that, I want to go through and show you what's in my brown satchel, the bag that I take with me to travel light. Not all the other kit and caboodle that I've got in the van, just my sort of travel light sketching bag. Now I have made a couple of adjustments to that. I've made a couple of additions to that this week. I needed to be able to try and film a little bit more free-handedly, so I created a platform that can sit on top of a tripod, but it all still fits nicely and snugly in my brown bag. So we're going to go through that, break that down and put that together and talk about that over the course of this video. On top of that, a company called Etchr reached out to me in the last few weeks and asked me would I review one of their watercolor blocks. It's a wood pulp block and it's hot press, which is quite ideal for sketching on. So I'm keen to give that a go, and I'll let each and every one of you know exactly what I think of it at the end of the video. And I won't pull any punches. If I don't like it, I'll tell you so, and if I do like it, I'll let you know that too. But I'll put the details of the company Etchr in the description underneath this video. The last thing I want to do is tell you about taking a camera. Now whenever I go out painting plein air, I've always got a phone and I've always got a camera, or one or both I've got with me. And the thing is that when you're in a place like that, there's so many pictures that want painting, so many sketches that want making, but you can't physically fit all those in one day. And yeah, you can come back tons of times, but I think that if you take a shot or two in between the sketches that you're making and also of the things that you are sketching, then you have a good reference stock of photographs to work from in the future. On a rainy day when you can't get out, you can go back to these photographs that you took on this lovely sunny day, and you can refer to those and do a little painting, a little sketch, a little thumbnail, anything you want to do, and you're instantly transported back to that scene, that day when you walked around with your camera and your sketchbook and it just enjoys yourself. So that's what I want to do, and I will make a few videos based around a few of these sketches in the future at different times, so you'll sort of come back with me to this day when we're at Folkestone Harbour doing some sketching and taking a few photographs. So without further ado, let's get on, let's get out there, because it's hot in this car and I'm cooking and I want to get out there and sketch. So let's get on. Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, it's going to be very windy and there's a lot of noise interruption. It's quite an up and coming trendy place. The conversion of the old harbour arm from train station dereliction and turning it into something that is usable and prosperous for the local economy, and I think they're doing a tremendous job. But what I'm going to be doing now is just warning you that you're going to get some noise, people passing, talking, music and all these other things. So I do apologize, and I hope the wind is not going to cause too much problem either. But what I wanted to show you was my kit. Now there we are, that's all I'm taking with me. Forget the bag behind me, that's got my camera stuff in. But here I've got a brown bag, a brown satchel bag and one tripod. It's a lightweight tripod. It's actually a an EF61 by Velbron. It only costs around about 30 to 45 pounds, something like that. It's not an expensive one, but it's lightweight and it does the job tremendously. Now what I'm going to do is just unpack this bag and show you what's inside of my plein air kit. So as you can see, there is just paper towel, several boards and papers, but this is the first part that we're going to bring out, and that is my platform. So let's just put this in place. Homemade, I did it last weekend as it happens. I have a base here which you just screw onto a decent amount of timber, and this is, you can get this from a lot of sources. I will list this in the description, and just a fixing plate to go onto the EF. So let's put that in place first. So we get on, and all I do with these two is I just found some old clips. I don't know what they're from. I think they're from an old painting set or painting box, but I just slide those in. I will show you, if anyone's interested, how that works on another occasion. What else is in the bag? Well, let's get it together. Let's have a look. What I'm going to be doing, as I already spoken to you about, is we're going to try this lovely Etchr Block that they sent me. Give that a try. There's my paints, and my pen is in here, and of course what I've got here is one of these collapsible watercolors. And today I'm just going to use one pen. I'll probably use one of the Fude nibs, or shall I? No, actually I think I'm going to use one of the Noodler Ahab pens, which has not got the Fude nib on the end. Just down there, put that to one side there. And brushes, now the brushes I can put over here out the way, and there's my small round, and just push into place there and hold, and a larger one. Same paint set as last time, nothing changed there. I have, and will openly admit, I actually have a small set over here sometime. I tried during the week just as additional colours. A bit naughty really, don't need to take them, but I have my colours here. They sit on there quite nicely, no problem, I hope. Okay, so we're pretty much set up. Now I know you can buy other things that do the same job commercially, but this cost me absolutely nothing. It's scrap wood, and in fact I don't know if anyone would recognize, but these little strips here are reclaimed spent firework rocket sticks, believe it or not. And that's all they are. So let's just put my pen to one side, and I haven't opened this yet. I received this in the post the other day, and so I'm just going to open this block up for the first time. Now most of you will know, or who follow me will know, that I normally just paint in cotton rag as opposed to wood pulp, but this is wood pulp, so let's give it a go and let's see what happens. And it is a hot press block, so it's a smooth block, and we're going to work on that today. Alright, so the scene in front of me then is this one, which is the remaining part and the extremities of the harbour arm in Folkestone. And I just love this place, and there is a very, very trendy bar right at the end there in the lighthouse.
Okay, so first and foremost then I've got a 2B pencil and a 2mm lead in that 2B pencil, mechanical one, and this is a Faber-Castell. I do quite like the feel of this in my hands, so I use this one and it's my go-to one normally. But what I like is this curvature, this roof that I'm standing under sort of sweeps really round, and I've got to get this right because it's just going to look awful if I don't. And it sort of goes through here and down towards the lighthouse at the end there. So let's just plot that lighthouse in place just to give it a sort of semi where I want it to be. All the way down through here like that. One nice mark if you can, and almost sort of comes into a point there. But what we've got is little steps out, so we're going to have to change some of that. I'm going to put a line of steps coming down as they do. So we've got a line of steps coming through here like that, and we've got another step out on this wall, so that sort of comes out like that. Bit of a walk down, and that comes into that shape, so we lose that bit. Okay. let's get this fellow out and let's get some use out of this. Now this is a noodler called an Ahab, and they're from Pure Pens. Again, I put the details underneath. Pure Pens do a variety of not only different inks and pens and other writing equipment, so it's not, they are not only noodler, or they're not only something else. They actually are the UK distributor for noodler, and also inside this is the Diatramentus document ink, which is the black. I am thinking of getting the brown version in another pen. I quite like the idea of using that, but certainly from the point of view of this, let's get on and let's sync up and let's take it one stage further. So there we go, let's just start on the canopy of that, and I like my pen and inks to be quite scratchy. You know, I love that Fude nib we used before, no problems with that, but I do like the idea of a sort of a scratchy drawing. A couple of little lines to suggest the glass at the top on that, and just come around here, putting the handrail in. way to it also. I'll take that through like that. A little deeper. And then our roof here gives way. So let's just bring that down. Nice strong mark coming into it like that. I like that. Alright, we're going to look at putting these in. We've got one coming down there. Put that away. Let this dry for a few minutes. I'm going to have a quick coffee and we'll come back and we'll carry on. Okay, I've got a cup of coffee and all ready pretty much to press on. Oh, that's nice. That's welcome. Okay, so brush wise, what am I going to be using? Well, I'm going to be using my larger brown brush, I think. I just want to get in a simple idea of the sky. And I'm going to start off with some lovely cobalt blue. Let's get some of that in there, and I'm also going to add into that a little bit of phthalo blue. Always try and make a good mix of it up, ready to go. Not too thin, but nice enough to not dry out to a pale colour. Just going to add in a little bit more, so I've got plenty to go across this whole scene. Alright, so let's crack on. Let's get some of this sky going. Now, it's the first time I've used this paper totally, so we'll see how it reacts, both as a paper and also as a block. I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to add in a little bit of magenta, just a tap, lots more water. Just make that more fluid as it comes down, washing out the brush a little bit and just allow that to come around and soften as that comes down like that. Now, I did mean to leave that white there. I need to preserve that, so I need to work around my lighthouse. I want to suggest those lovely clouds all the way through this area here. Lots of little clouds. Now, the wind is going to dry up this paper fast, more than it would if it was a cotton paper. And I think we've got enough there, and we've got enough done. So that is our sky. I'm tempted to lift that off. I think I can get away with it. There's just enough in there to do that. I don't know what, I think this is the eraser. There we go. Let that dry, and then you can move into some other areas by all means. Let's look at that sea. It's going to be a lot of phthalo blue, and I'm going to add to that some lovely aureolin. So I want to make something with some lovely raw yellow ochre. In shadow, so we've got to go back to the same idea. We're going to come back in with some ultramarine blue and some Indian red, make a darker purple colour, a bit more of each. Make enough, never have enough, especially when using thicker paint. You need more water to it, make it work for you. There we are, a bit more of the red, making a dirty grubby old purple. Okay, so we're going to come in there, we're going to run that around there, a little bit up in there, run that through here, you can see that, take that down to the bottom, a little bit more paint to finish the job, there we are, platform sorted.
Well, catch up a lot of noise at White Peter.
Sorry?
Well, catch up a lot of noise.
Come up, yeah, come up mate, no problem. I'm only filming it for...
Oh, that's nice. Do you do this sort of stuff for a living then, yeah?
Yeah, that's all I do.
That's decent then, mate. That's decent, I like that.
Appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. Cheers,
Nice
mate.
to meet you, mate.
Take care.
Sure, yeah.
Have a good one.
I'll do.
Got this last little blue violet colour that is around the wall out there, just extending through the edge and down through there. A little violet, a little bit more violet, a little bit on the blue side. Let's just put that in, let's bring it through there, make that nice and strong as that comes down through there. There we are. Make it a little ripply if you want, vary it a little bit. So you can just imagine the water and ripples in that point. Right, there we are. So, okay everybody, one picture of Folkestone Harbour Arm completed, ink and wash. I hope you enjoyed the process and watching it being painted. I have to say I really enjoyed it. It's been a bit noisy with people and different things. I'm sorry about that. There's not a lot I can do about that. It's a very, very popular place. But the ink and wash went very, very well. And what I got to say is I really am pleased with the way this layout worked out. It may need tweaking. It may not be perfect. It's not a great platform. It is, after all, homemade. but it is doing the job, and I won't know until I check the footage whether or not it actually has worked from the point of view of filming. I really do hope it has, because it did take the pressure off trying to hold everything and paint as well and narrate and do all these other things and film it. Last of all, this lovely block of paper from Etchr. Now, when I first realized that it was a wood pulp, I wasn't too sure about it. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been totally happy with wood pulp in the past. It normally gives up quite easily, but this, I have to say, has done remarkably well. The paper receives the paint extremely well. The washes are nice. They allow you to work with them like some of the heavier papers. I'm guessing this is probably only a 140 pound. I don't know. I must check that. But overall, it's performed well. There's a little bit of a ripple in it here. It's not too bad. It really isn't so bad. But I will let this dry up on the block before I take it off. And I can absolutely say wholeheartedly, hand on heart, that I'd recommend this paper. I shall be using it again, and I certainly use the rest of this pad, and hopefully it'll be a thumbs up for it. So yeah, I'll put the link, as I said earlier, down in the description if you want to look at Etchr and some of the other products. I have no idea what the other products are about. I've not experienced any of their satchels or sketching apparatus or anything at all. This is the only thing that I've tried, so this is the only thing that I can actually recommend. And yeah, I can certainly recommend this wood pulp paper. And the nice thing about being wood pulp, if it does work, it's cheaper than buying cotton. So if you can buy this at a fraction of the price of a cotton block, you're on a winner. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to wrap up and put everything away and move somewhere else that I hope is a little bit quieter than here. Catch you all very, very soon. Take care.